Hey guys, it's me, Rohan Singh, and today I'm going to talk about another strategy. Now, earlier I talked about how to achieve more than 95% in your math board exams. And if you're interested in watching that video about the math board exams, then I suggest that you click the link here. But today I'm going to talk about a different subject, which is science, another very important subject. It has a lot of weightage, and it is most probably the one which is going to help you in the science stream, which many students aspire to take in. This strategy is tried and tested. Let me tell you this first of all. I've spoken to many toppers who have gotten more than 90% in their board exams in class 10th, in class 12th. I've spoken to friends about it. I've even seen other YouTube videos and just deducted whether are they similar, are they different, and I've seen that most of the YouTube videos are similar, although I've added my own touches and improvisations to this strategy, which I think are better than most of the YouTube videos out there. So again, this strategy is most likely to work and get you over 95%, since a lot of the toppers, a lot of the people who achieve good marks, a lot of YouTube videos recommend basically the same core concept, while I've added my own tips here, some of the new books, some more methods and strategy. Now the first book which I'm going to recommend is of course Base NCERT for Science. Now this can be for any class. Again, this can work for class 9th, class 8th, class 10th, class 11th, class 12th. This can work for any class. You just have to follow what I say and understand the core concepts of it and just apply it, and it will work perfectly. I'll guarantee that. Now the first book is of course the Base NCERT. You already have this at your school. It is compulsory. In my opinion, when you start with your science syllabus, you should at first finish this book. If you haven't finished this book, then you definitely won't get good marks. Now why is that? Because you see, more than 70% of the board exam paper is coming from your base book. Again, I'll just read this fact because many people actually forget this. 70% of the questions are coming from this book. So if you haven't actually thoroughly read this book at all, or just kind of skipped it like many students do, especially in science, then you won't get good marks. You're basically missing out on 70% of the paper, and sure, you may make that up mostly by other books, but the remaining 10% which you need to become a topper will be missed. This book may seem useless, but in my opinion it has a lot of power. The amount of facts, the amount of answers which can be taken from here are insane. If you understand all the chapters and sort of just eat them up, just keep on reading them, read between the lines, form your own questions in this book. Like for example, we tend to think of some sort of movement in life processes, and this is in life processes. We tend to think some of the sort of movement, either growth related or not, as common evidence for being alive. But a plant that is now visibly growing is still alive, and some animals can breathe without visible movement. So using visible movement as the defining characteristic of life is not enough. Now this may seem a little bit unimportant to you, but this is one of the most important questions in the board exams, because if you actually study this paragraph which I've just read to you and will probably be highlighted in the video, you can easily make out a very important question from this, which is what is the defining characteristic of life and why is it not sufficient? This is the sort of question, or variations of the question. They'll basically have the same thing in some different words. I'm just giving out a common interpretation, but this is the paragraph which is basically the answer. If you skip the NCERT, then you're not going to get this paragraph. And another important answer just in this same paragraph is, which will also be highlighted, viruses do not show any molecular movement in them until they infect some cell, and that is partly why there is some controversy about whether they're truly alive or not. This one again is a very important statement. You can easily form another question out of this, and you could do this yourself. All you have to do is read this thoroughly, analyze them, and see where can a question be formed. This is very easy. You don't even have to write much. All you have to do is write a question on some sidebar, and then just encircle or highlight the answer and mark it. That's what you have to do. It's way easier than writing and making notes, although I still prefer that you make notes out there, but this can also be done, and this is easier. And the question is, why is there a controversy about viruses being alive or not? Again, variations of this question will come, but they basically ask the same thing, and you will probably get this answer. You'll get full marks. I guarantee you this, and this will continue on throughout the whole chapter, and every chapter in the book is like this. Another very important example of this, and this is one of the last examples which I can give you because this is very easy and anyone can do this. Just read the paragraph, see where the statement is, analyze it, and then figure out what kind of question can be formed out of it. You can do this anytime you want. These are very important. These will help you a lot. These are quick, these are small. Another example of this is in the chapter electricity, which is very important. And as we can see here, it says, what does a switch do? A switch makes a conducting link between the cell and the bulb. A continuous and closed path of an electric current is called an electric circuit. Now, two questions can be formed here if you've read this part, and that is, what does a switch do? And you've gotten the answer. And the other question is, define electric circuit. A continuous and closed path of an electric current is called an electric circuit. These are very important definitions. You could have easily missed this if you skipped the first page and the introduction. This is how you'll do the NCERT, by forming your own questions, reading the chapter, analyzing them, and you just overall just read the chapter 2-3 times and you'll get everything memorized. The problems in the chapters in physics all have to be done and understood well. So once you've done that and NCERT science is complete, you've already got more than 70%. So there's that, which are basically the passing marks. Now to get even more marks and above and beyond is NCERT exemplar for science. In my opinion, this book has so many quality questions which are definitely picked up from the boards. These are questions which are not in the NCERT again. So don't think that I'm just getting the exemplar, which is basically useless, because all the questions are already in the science book, NCERT book, and that is untrue, because these questions are directly from the boards themselves, collected and proved over many years. Some of them are pretty hard, some of them are easy. There are also very important MCQs in here due to the new education policy which was introduced in 2020. The MCQs will be used a lot more now. Basically, each board exam from 2021 will have a lot of MCQs in there, because it is according to the new education policy. So MCQs are very important here. This book is also, as a result, very important. It contains hundreds of MCQs of every chapter out there. It also contains quite a lot of good explanations. It has answers as well. Overall, just look through this book, read it, and then once you've read it, solve all the question answers by yourself. Solve them to the point that you can basically memorize the answers. It's not that hard. I'm not saying you pure by rote memorization learn every single answer in here. No, don't do that. What I'm saying is read through it, write the question and answer, and once you've written it, you already have it memorized in some form, and then you can write it in your own way by still preserving the keyword which is in the answer. Again, the NCERT accepts answers which are written in your own type of writing, in your own language. Basically, once you solve this, you have already gotten 85 to 90%. That's a guarantee. Now for the remaining 10%, where the hard stuff and the things which people say, oh, this wasn't in the NCERT, where was it, where did it come from, this is unfair, this will come mostly from books like You Like. I've already talked about this book a lot. If you're interested in watching my You Like video, then you can click the link here. Now the reason I recommend this book above the exemplar is because of the fact that this has very important sample papers. It has more than 5 sample papers. As you can see, CBSE examination solved 2020, you probably get 2021 as well. All these are sample papers which are extremely valuable, because it is from these sample papers which most of the exam questions come, and the hard ones as well, the ones which take a lot of time to do, the ones which are basically high thinking ones, in which many students struggle in. So when you get this book and you look through the sample papers, you look through the explanations, you look through the questions which are extra provided, and these sample papers also are solutions as well, very well written ones at that. And once you've done all that, you've probably mostly gotten over 95% already. It's not that hard. I know it seems a little bit too easy right now, but it's not that hard. Again, the board exams are quite easy. The real challenges will come after the board exam. And that's it. Thank you for watching my video. Subscribe, like if you enjoyed it, and goodbye.